Have you ever sat down to enjoy your favorite seafood dish and thought, this has to be good for me? I mean, it's fish, right? For decades, we've been told that seafood is the cornerstone of a healthy diet, but here's the unsettling truth. Once you cross the age of 60, the very seafood you believe is nourishing your body could be the very thing quietly breaking it down. Deep inside laboratories at Harvard University, Stanford, and research institutes across the world, scientists have been uncovering shocking truths about what certain seafoods actually do to the body, especially as we get older. Some of these familiar dishes hide dangerous toxins that inflame your joints, damage your memory, and put unnecessary strain on your heart. And yet, others contain rare nutrients so powerful they can literally rebuild cartilage, preserve memory, and keep your muscles strong for decades longer. That's why in this video we're cutting through all the noise. We're going to reveal the 4 seafoods you should absolutely avoid if you're over 60, and just as importantly, the 4 that you should embrace, even daily, if you want to age with strength, clarity, and confidence. Stick with me until the end, because the last one on the Eat Daily list might surprise you. It's a seafood most people have never thought of as medicine, but studies show it could be a secret weapon against both muscle loss and memory decline. So, let's dive in. For centuries, oysters have been viewed as symbols of elegance, wealth, and even romance. Picture a holiday dinner or a night out at a fine restaurant, the tray of raw oysters on ice, the lemon wedge, the glistening shell. For many, they aren't just food, they're tradition. But here's the harsh truth. For people over 60, that tradition can be deadly. Hidden inside raw oysters, especially those harvested from warm waters, lives a bacterium called Vibrio vulnificus. Now, this isn't the typical bug that causes a mild stomachache. Vibrio is something far more aggressive. It can enter your bloodstream within hours, and once it does, the infection spreads like wildfire. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 96% of deaths caused by Vibrio occur in people over the age of 60. Think about that. Almost every fatal case happens in older adults, often those with conditions like diabetes or liver problems. The scary part is how deceptive the symptoms are at first. Maybe you feel a little off, slightly nauseated, or you chalk it up to bad food. But within 24 hours, fever spikes, chills set in, and purple-red blisters start to appear under the skin. These blisters look eerily similar to burn marks. Without rapid treatment, the infection turns fatal in a matter of days. And all of it can start from a single raw oyster. Now, does this mean you can never enjoy oysters again? Not at all. The danger lies in eating them raw. Cooking oysters thoroughly destroys Vibrio. Steaming them for at least 5 minutes, grilling them for 10, or boiling them until the shells open, all of these methods kill the bacteria. Once cooked, oysters are not only safe but still deliver valuable zinc and vitamin B12. If you want something even safer, switch to mussels. They're just as nutrient-dense. They provide the same minerals, but without the high risk of Vibrio. So, next time you're tempted by raw oysters, remember this. What looks like a delicacy on the plate may actually be a ticking time bomb. Choose cooked oysters or mussels instead, and your body will thank you. But oysters aren't just the only danger hiding in plain sight. The next fish looks healthy on the outside, but inside It carries a toxin that can cling to your brain and nerves for years. When most people think about fish, they think healthy. After all, fish is supposed to be brain food, rich in omega-3, good for the heart, and protective against memory decline. But here's the twist. Not all fish fit that image, and one of the most dangerous offenders for people over 60 is king mackerel. At first glance, king mackerel looks just like the kind of fish you'd want on your plate. It's firm, meaty, and often served grilled or seared, giving the impression of strength and nourishment. But beneath that perfect exterior lurks a hidden toxin, mercury. As a top predator in the ocean, king mackerel doesn't just swim peacefully through the food chain, it dominates it. And in the process, it accumulates mercury from every smaller fish it eats. Over time, that mercury builds up to dangerously high levels. The danger? Mercury doesn't simply pass through the body, it lodges itself deep in tissues, particularly in the brain and nervous system. Harvard University conducted a study on over 1,200 adults above the age of 65. The findings were chilling. Those who ate king mackerel weekly experienced 30% faster memory decline compared to seniors who avoided it. Blood tests showed their mercury levels were double the safe limit set by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. It starts quietly. A little hand tremor when you're holding a coffee mug. A moment of forgetfulness you brush off as just getting older. But the damage doesn't stop there. With continuous exposure, mercury begins attacking nerve pathways. Numbness creeps into the hands and feet, balance becomes unsteady, and eventually, irreversible peripheral nerve damage sets in. Here's the harsh reality. Once nerves are destroyed, they don't grow back. So what's the solution? Thankfully, safer alternatives exist. Atlantic mackerel has 75% less mercury, but still gives you plenty of omega-3. Wild salmon and sardines are even better, packed with nutrients, yet naturally low in mercury. And if you've already eaten king mackerel regularly for years, don't panic. The first step is awareness. Talk to your doctor about getting your mercury levels tested. In some cases, detoxification therapies can help reduce the burden, but the best long-term defense is prevention. Choose safer fish and let your brain and body heal without the weight of toxins dragging them down. Now, you might be thinking, Sal, fine, I still avoid the exotic fish. I still just stick to something simple and common like shrimp. But here sips the truth. Shrimp might not be as innocent as it seems. Shrimp is one of the most popular seafoods in the world. It's affordable, versatile, and it shows up everywhere from family dinners to holiday buffets. On the surface, shrimp seems like the safe, everyday choice. But here's what most people don't know. Much of the shrimp sold in supermarkets, especially the frozen packs imported from Southeast Asia, comes with a hidden chemical cocktail. Investigations by the U.S. Consumer Reports Organization revealed a shocking statistic. Up to 60% of imported shrimp samples tested contained banned chemicals and antibiotics. These aren't minor traces either. They included substances like chloramphenicol, which can suppress bone marrow, and nitrofurans, linked to cancer. How does this contamination happen? The answer lies in how shrimp are farmed. In many parts of Asia, shrimp are raised in shallow, stagnant ponds. The density of shrimp is so high that disease outbreaks are inevitable. To keep them alive long enough to harvest harvest producers dump in antibiotics, pesticides, and growth stimulants. The water often contains leftover feed, animal waste, and sometimes even human waste. And here's the problem. Even after being frozen, shipped, and cooked, those chemicals don't just vanish. They remain inside the shrimp you place on your plate. Now, if you're young and your liver and kidneys are functioning at full capacity, your body can filter out some of these toxins. But once you're over 60, that detox system slows down. Instead of being flushed out, residues accumulate in your system. The results? Chronic fatigue you can't explain, strange rashes that linger, a weaker immune system that leaves you vulnerable to every cold or infection. Even more alarming is the rise in antibiotic resistance. When you're constantly exposed to antibiotics through contaminated food, bacteria in your body adapt. The next time you face something as common as pneumonia or a urinary tract infection, the antibiotics prescribed by your doctor may not work as well. Suddenly, a once simple illness can turn into a dangerous condition. But here's the good news. Not all shrimp is created equal. Shrimp caught wild in U.S. waters, like the Gulf of Mexico or the East Coast, is far safer. The ecosystems are more regulated, and the shrimp aren't force-fed chemicals. Yes, the price may be higher, but the value for your long-term health is priceless. And if you're on a budget, frozen wild-caught shrimp is still an excellent option. It delivers the same nutritional value as fresh without the high risk. So, the next time you see that tempting bag of imported shrimp on sale, think twice. Behind the discount price may be a hidden cost, one paid in energy, immunity, and health. But as dangerous as imported shrimp can be, there sips one fish that takes the crown as the most misleading of all. It sips cheap, it sips everywhere, and it sips often called the sips healthy choice. Yet, for seniors over 60, it may be the most harmful seafood on your plate. If there's one seafood that perfectly illustrates the saying, you get what you pay for, it's tilapia. Walk into any supermarket and you'll see it stacked in abundance, cheap, boneless, mild-tasting, and marketed as a healthy, lean protein. For families on a budget, it looks like the perfect option. But beneath that innocent reputation lies one of the biggest nutritional traps for people over 60. Here's why farmed tilapia is essentially an inflammation factory. Research from Wake Forest University uncovered that the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio in farm-raised tilapia can be as high as 11 to 1. The human body needs those two fatty acids in balance, ideally close to 1 to 1. When omega-6 skyrockets, it drives inflammation through the roof. Chronic inflammation is like a slow-burning fire inside your body. It fuels arthritis flare-ups, worsens heart disease, and accelerates the processes linked to Alzheimer's. And that's just the beginning. How these fish are raised makes the problem even worse. In China and other major exporters, tilapia are often packed into cramped concrete tanks. To cut costs, farmers feed them a strange mix: industrial pellets, soybean residue, and brace yourself, chicken manure. Yes, literal waste is used as food to bulk up the fish quickly. Because of these conditions, tilapia often carry high levels of dioxins, industrial toxins capable of causing cancer. One study from Johns Hopkins University tested 200 samples of farmed tilapia and found dioxin levels 11 times higher than safe limits. Now, think about what this means for someone over 60. At this stage of life, your liver and kidneys aren't filtering toxins as efficiently as they once did. Instead of passing through, these substances build up. Over time, that buildup can manifest as constant joint pain, unexplained memory lapses, or cardiovascular issues that seem to appear out of nowhere. Some seniors who reported eating farm tilapia 4 times a week developed severe arthritis in less than a year, so painful they lost the ability to move normally. But here's the hopeful side. You don't have to give up affordable fish altogether. Safer swaps exist. Wild-caught options like Pacific rockfish or even canned wild salmon provide the protein you need along with genuine omega-3 without flooding your system with toxins. The bottom line, farm tilapia may look harmless, but it's silently fueling the very conditions older adults are trying to fight. By simply swapping it out for safer fish, you're not just making a better meal, you're taking a step toward stronger joints, sharper memory, and a healthier heart. So far, we've still seen what to avoid. But what about the seafoods that can actually heal the body after 60? Let's flip the script and look at the ocean set's best gifts for longevity. At first glance, sardines don't look like a miracle food. They're small, inexpensive, and often overlooked at the bottom shelf of the canned goods aisle. But don't let their size fool you. These little fish are among the most powerful allies for anyone over 60. Why? Because sardines are the complete package. They deliver calcium, vitamin D, omega-3, and CoQ10 in a form that the body absorbs with ease. Let's start with bones. Everyone knows calcium is essential for bone health, but not all calcium sources are equal. Supplements can sometimes lead to kidney stones or deposits in the wrong places. But sardines offer bioavailable calcium that comes naturally from their tiny, edible bones. Paired with vitamin D and phosphorus, it absorbs directly where it's needed, your skeleton. A Stanford University study followed more than 1,000 postmenopausal women. Those who ate sardines just twice per week increased their bone density by an average of 4% per year. That's a stunning improvement compared to women relying solely on supplements. But sardines aren't just about bones, they're also about protection. Because they feed on plankton at the very bottom of the food chain, their mercury levels are nearly zero. The Environmental Defense Fund reports that mercury in sardines is 90% lower than established safety thresholds. That means you can enjoy them daily without fear of toxin buildup. The heart and brain benefits are equally impressive. A Portuguese study followed 800 seniors over 5 years. Those who consistently ate sardines reduced their risk of cardiovascular events by 38% and improved memory by up to 15%. And let's not forget CoQ10, a nutrient vital for energy production in cells. Levels of CoQ10 naturally decline with age, but sardines replenish it, giving your cells the fuel to stay active and resilient. The best part? Sardines are versatile. Spread them on whole grain toast with avocado, toss them into salads, or simply enjoy them straight from the can. The key is to choose wild-caught sardines packed in olive oil or pure water. Avoid soybean oil, which can tip your omega-6 balance the wrong way. So, while others chase expensive supplements or superfoods, you can reach for a humble can of sardines. Simple, affordable, and scientifically proven to strengthen bones, protect your heart, and sharpen your memory. But sardines are only the beginning. If you want a seafood that not only nourishes your body, but also shields your brain from decline, the next one deserves a permanent spot on your plate. When most people picture salmon, they think of that rich pink flesh, the buttery texture, and the sense that they're eating something wholesome. But there's a world of difference between farmed salmon and wild Alaska salmon, especially for anyone over 60. Wild salmon isn't just food, it's nature's repair kit. One of its biggest gifts is a rare antioxidant called zeaxanthin. This compound is 6,000 times stronger than vitamin C and has a unique ability to cross the blood-brain barrier. That means it doesn't just float around in your bloodstream, it goes straight into the brain, shielding nerve cells from the oxidative stress that drives memory decline. A long-term Japanese study followed 500 seniors for 8 years. The group who ate wild salmon twice a week had a 40% lower risk of dementia compared to those who didn't. Imagine the difference that could make staying sharper, more independent, and more engaged with life. Wild salmon also brings something else. Most people don't think about selenium. This trace mineral is crucial for thyroid function, energy production, and keeping inflammation under control. When combined with omega-3, selenium lowers C-reactive protein, a key marker of inflammation, by up to 50%. That's less pain, better circulation, and stronger defense against chronic disease. And then there's vitamin D. Just one serving of wild salmon delivers around 1,000 international units. Considering that 75% of older adults are deficient in vitamin D, salmon isn't just a meal, it's a medicine for your bones, muscles, and immune system. But not all salmon is created equal. Farm salmon often contains higher levels of pollutants and fewer beneficial nutrients. The salmon you want is wild caught from Alaska varieties like Copper River sockeye or king salmon. Even canned wild salmon provides excellent benefits, often at a fraction of the price. Simple preparation is best. Grill it with lemon and herbs. Bake it in olive oil or make patties from canned salmon for a quick lunch. 2 servings a week are enough to feel the benefits. And while salmon protects your brain and heart, what about the pain in your knees or spine? Their cyst is a special shellfish that scientists say may be the closest thing to a natural joint therapy. For many people over 60, the biggest daily battle isn't memory or blood pressure, it's joint pain. Knees that ache when the weather changes, fingers that stiffen while opening a jar. The constant reminder that mobility isn't what it used to be. But nature provides an answer in an unexpected place. The shores of New Zealand, that's where the green-lipped mussel grows, and it's become one of the most studied natural remedies for arthritis and joint health. What makes it special is a unique group of omega-3 fatty acids called ETA, eicosate trenoic acid. Research in Australia found ETA to be 200 times more powerful as an anti-inflammatory compared to standard omega-3s. In a trial of 400 arthritis patients, 89% reported reduced pain and 91% showed improved mobility after just 12 weeks of eating green-lipped mussels. Even more impressive, MRI scans in New Zealand studies showed signs of actual cartilage regeneration in seniors who ate these mussels regularly. Doctors once thought cartilage could only be restored through surgery. Yet here was proof that food could play a role in rebuilding joints. Green lipped mussels also contain glycosaminoglycans, compounds similar to the natural fluid that cushions your joints. They help rebuild cartilage and keep joints moving smoothly. Add in bioavailable iron, copper, manganese, and natural glucosamine, and you've got a complete joint support package. For best results, look for frozen mussels imported directly from New Zealand with verified origins. They can be steamed with garlic and white wine added to soups or cooked into porridge. If fresh mussels aren't available, certified supplements made from mussel extract are a good alternative. 2 servings a week or a daily supplement can make a dramatic difference for seniors living with arthritis or stiffness. And finally, there's SIPS, one seafood most people think of as an exotic delicacy. But for older adults, it may be a hidden secret to stronger muscles, a steadier heart, and a sharper mind. Octopus isn't something most people think of as everyday food. It's exotic, unusual, maybe even intimidating to prepare. But for seniors, wild Mediterranean octopus is one of the ocean's most powerful anti-aging foods. Why? Because it directly combats 2 of the biggest challenges after 60, muscle loss and memory decline. Octopus contains extremely high-quality protein, complete with all 9 essential amino acids. This protein is highly bioavailable, meaning your body absorbs and uses it efficiently to build and maintain lean muscle. For seniors, that's critical. Without enough protein, muscles shrink, balance declines, and independence slips away. But octopus goes further. It's loaded with taurine, an amino acid that stabilizes heart rhythm, protects nerve cells, and reduces the risk of heart failure. In fact, taurine levels in octopus are 16 times higher than in salmon. Japanese scientists studied 500 seniors and found that those who ate octopus weekly had a 60% lower risk of cardiovascular disease over 10 years. Octopus also provides natural peptides that stimulate the release of growth hormone, something that declines sharply with age. Growth hormone is what helps maintain muscle and bone strength. A Greek study showed seniors who ate octopus regularly increased their lean muscle mass by 12% and grip strength by 30% in just 6 months, even without exercising more than usual. And then there's copper. Few people realize copper deficiency is linked to memory decline and mood instability. Octopus is one of the richest sources of bioavailable copper, helping enzymes in the brain produce neurotransmitters that keep memory sharp and mood stable. The best way to enjoy it? Always choose wild Mediterranean octopus. Tenderize it by freezing overnight, then cook slowly with tomato sauce or grill with olive oil and lemon. Baby octopus is milder in taste if you're new to it. Once per week is enough to deliver noticeable benefits. So what does all this mean? After 60, every bite matters more than ever, and your seafood choices can either break you down or build you back up. Let's just recap what we've learned. The 4 seafoods to avoid after 60. Raw oyster, dangerous Vibrio infections. King mackerel, mercury that damages memory and nerves. Imported shrimp, hidden antibiotics and chemicals. Farmed tilapia, chronic inflammation and toxic dioxins. And the 4 to embrace daily or weekly: sardine, calcium, omega-3, and memory protection. Wild Alaska salmon is taxanthin and vitamin D for brain and heart. Green-lipped mussel, powerful anti-inflammatory support for joints. Mediterranean octopus, muscle-preserving protein and taurine for heart and memory. These aren't just diet tweaks. They're decisions that shape how you age, whether your body weakens year by year or whether you stay strong, clear-minded, and independent. The good news is you don't need to change everything at once. Start small. Swap farm tilapia for a can of sardines once a week. Replace imported shrimp with wild-caught mussels. Try octopus on a special weekend dinner. Each small step builds into a foundation of lasting health. So, I'll leave you with this thought. After 60, food is no longer just about flavor. It's about freedom. Freedom to move without pain. Freedom to think clearly. Freedom to live life on your own terms. If today's video gave you something valuable, hit that like button and subscribe so you won't miss the next one. And now I'd love to hear from you. What's the seafood you eat most often from today's list? Drop a comment below and let's start a conversation that could add years of strength and clarity to your life.